Alright there guys, it's LazyBeast here today with another video for you all about delves in the upcoming patch 11.1 Undermined for World of Warcraft. Now there's a lot of changes coming to delves and some of them are pretty good, so I'm going to dive into all of those, talking about the new delves themselves as well as the actual rewards that we get from delves, so let's jump into it all. Straight off the bat we have two brand new delves to look forward to, plus a new seasonal challenge delve. Now the two actual normal baseline delves are Side Street Sluice and Excavation Site 9, so we'll take a quick look at those. Side Street Sluice is located in the VAT Works area of Undermined, so it's in the actual new zone itself. As per usual with the delves, there are 3 different stories that you can do, so there's a bit of variation every time you tackle the delve. The other new delve, Excavation Site 9, is located in the Writhing Fields. Now this is a new area added onto the side of the Ringing Deeps. And there's also a new challenge delve, so for Season 1 in the War Within we had Zekvir, didn't we? And you could go on and tackle Zekvir on question mark or double question mark difficulty. Well, that same system is going forward, except we have a new nemesis. It's a goblin guy this time, as you would have thought, so more on that later on. But you will be able to tackle this on question mark and double question mark difficulties and get some nice rewards for doing so. So another big change coming to delves in patch 11.1 is the fact that Brann has a tank spec. So if you're tired of getting smashed about in delves, if you're a healer or a squishier class, well, Brann's felt your pain as well, so much so that he's grabbed a shield and a gun and decided that he will tank for you. How admirable of Brann. We will be able to level Brann up even further. The level cap currently is 60, but I believe it's going to go to either 70 or 80. Brann is going to stay the same level as you have him currently, so don't worry if he is level 54, for example, with you currently. He's going to stay at that level, and he will also gain bonus experience when the new season starts to help you power him up to level 60 at a more efficient pace. So how is Brann's tank spec? Is it any good? Well, honestly, he's pretty good at holding aggro. When I was doing this on the PTR, I was playing Blood Death Knight, so I was tanking as well, and he did keep aggro for me just fine, although he is susceptible to being knocked out, so he can become rendered useless for a short period of time. Paired with a healer, which is Blizzard's intent with this, he will do great. Healers are going to have a much smoother time in solo delves now, and his damage is pretty good as well. So yeah, the tank spec for Brann seems to be working just fine. He's got a little bear as well that comes and helps out, so it's pretty fun. It's a good addition to the delve system. Now what about the bountiful delves and the restored coffer keys? Now with those, unfortunately, your restored coffer keys will be disappearing when the season starts, so if you've got a bunch saved up, they will be rendered kind of useless. Hopefully they're going to get transferred into another currency. So for example, Undercoin maybe, something that we could potentially use, or at least resonance crystals, that would be nice. But nevertheless, they are going to go, so you will need to start getting restored coffer keys again from the usual sources. The bountiful delve rotation is going to change, because currently it is just 1 bountiful delve per zone, but you've got the Ringing Deeps, for example, which only has 2 delves in it, so it kind of felt on Blizzard's part that it was the same delves that were active like all the time on bountiful versions, so they're going to rotate slightly differently to keep things mixed up day to day, which again is pretty nice. Now there are some new Curios coming in. There's a new nemesis, of course, which is the bad guy that's going to be in the challenge delve, and there's some new affixes as well, so let's dive into all that. The new nemesis is a guy called Underpin. So he's a pretty crazy goblin dude who's ambushed Brann. He's destroyed all of the Curios that we collected back in Season 1, and he's taken Brann's hat. This has just got personal, hasn't it? He's nicked Brann's hat, so we're going to have to help Brann get that hat back. You did hear me correctly, Underpin has, in the ambush, destroyed all of the Curios that we had in Season 1 that we collected and leveled up, which sounds like a bit of a pain in the bottom. However, there's a load of new ones to collect, and you'll start collecting these as soon as you start doing delves in Season 2. It does open up all new options when it comes to tackling Season 2 delves, so some of these, some of them are going to be good, some will probably be bang average, so we'll have to figure out again which ones are the best ones and put together some interesting new builds. Oh, and a little side note with Brann, because his hat got stolen by Underpin, he will just keep wearing random hats until he actually finds his new one. If you do like the fact that Brann wears random hats, there is an option to toggle this as well. So he wears things like a mushroom on his head at times and, Brann, you do you, mate. So in Season 2, when you loot the treasures in the delves, this can lead to us finding shards of some of the popular Curios from Season 1. If you remember the Amorphous Relic or the Porcelain Arrowhead, for example, they've been broken into bits, so you can find these shards in the delve, but they work slightly differently. There's also the rare elite mobs in delves. They did sometimes give us nice powers as well. and sometimes from other bigger chests. However, some of them felt a little bit lackluster in Season 1, to be honest, and it did end up in people kind of ignoring them because they deemed them too risky, especially in the higher tier delves. It wasn't really worth killing a big elite that could ruin your delve run just to get one of these mediocre powers. But Blizzard are changing this a bit as well. When we loot these powers in delves from Season 2 and onwards, you're going to buff Brann and us for the duration of that particular delve run, so they're not something to keep hold of, it's just going to buff you in that current run that you're doing. An example of this is the silencing potion. So if you pick this up, what Brann will do, every now and then he'll throw out a healing potion. It doesn't matter if you've got him set to tank, DPS or healer, he'll toss out this healing potion, and when you run into that, it is going to silence mobs nearby. So it gives you another means of interrupting things. And it also means that if Brann's currently set to DPS, he's also going to have an option of healing you as well, so quite nice. The function of this basically seems to be giving us more variety and flexibility when it comes to tackling the current delves challenges. Now there's also affixes. If you remember with Zekvir, on the delves maybe tier 9 and lower, Zekvir would have some of his mobs popping up in the delve, and also he'd be there himself kind of dragging you in with his web suck thing ability. Sounds a bit weird. And it also sometimes put lieutenants in the delves on tier 9 delves and upwards, which were pretty overpowered and could pretty much wreck your run if they were placed in a bad spot. So they're trying to make it a bit more consistent. The underpinned guy isn't going to show up in your delves, but some of his minor mobs will do. They are going to be a bit empowered, but not to like a crazy level. They'll simply just replace some of the mob packs in the existing delves. So what about the rewards from delves? So gear from tier 8 bountiful delves was a pretty good way to gear up early in the season, back in Season 1. However, it did quite quickly get to a point where doing your tier 8 bountiful delves was no longer really required because you'd kind of outgeared the reward from this. Or maybe you just do one or a few delves to get the weekly vault slots. There wasn't really any real reason to do tier 9 delves and higher, other than achievement points and bragging rights. However, this is also changing. Delves are going to be a reasonable source of high-end crests now as well, with tier 9, 10 and 11 delves rewarding more runed crests, as well as tier 11 bountiful delves rewarding gilded crests 3 times per week. You won't need restored copper keys to loot these crests either. Even despite it being a bountiful delve, these crests are simply going to be in an extra chest in the loot room at the end. The crest changes are pretty decent. Obviously, the more options we have to get certain things that we might want for high-end gear, the more options the merrier. However, where gear is concerned, tier 8 delves will still give you the max reward in your delve weekly vault. So unless you really want these gilded crests, there's still not much reason to do a tier 11 bountiful delve. Choice is yours though. Some delve mechanics are getting reworked as well to kind of spice up the existing delves we currently have. You may be quite bored of them by now. Some of them are getting brand new stories as well, which should really change things up. Spore bits is one mechanic. If you've never been blasted across the map by a spore bit in Fungal Folly, have you even lived? Some mechanics, such as these spore bits, are going to be reworked. So it is going to spice up the current way that we tackle these delves and increase the variance, as, let's face it, you probably know the delves like the back of your hand at this point. The existing delves are going to have new variants in story too, like I mentioned, so it's going to freshen them up even further, so delves in Season 2 overall should feel pretty great. Now you may be thinking, what about delve maps? Now, if you are saying in your head right now, what's a delve map? I've never got one of those before. You wouldn't be on your own. Delve maps have been notorious for being very hard to find, and some of us, me personally, I think I've maybe looted 2 delve maps in the entirety of Season 1, and that's with easily more than 100 delves completed. Blizzard, because of this, are going to add in some bad luck protection. The way this works is quite simply, every time you do a delve where a map doesn't drop, the next delve you do will have a slightly increased chance for a map to drop in it, and it's going to keep going up and up and up until eventually you're pretty much guaranteed to get a map. There is a cap to go along with this though, to kind of make sure it's not too OP. You can only loot 1 delve map per week, so you will want to make sure that the delve map is on the sort of highest tier delve that you can do, at least a tier 8 delve. Now, these are pretty much all the changes for now. Remember, this information does come from the PTR, so it is all subject to change. But let us know what you think of the changes. Overall, this is going to freshen up delves quite a lot. I am looking forward to tackling the newer delves on the higher tiers when this gets onto the live servers. But yeah, let us know what you think about the changes in the comments. We do also have now, guys, if you've made it to the end of the video, I will let you know about this. We do have a website. It's lazybeastgaming.com. So any videos that come on this channel, especially the guides, are going to have a written counterpart over on the website. So head over today if you want to view this video as a written article, and any of the guides in the future absolutely will go hand in hand with a written guide over on the website. So it's lazybeastgaming.com, and hopefully we'll see you over there. You can make an account, you can leave comments on the post, you can interact. So yeah, go and check it out, guys, if that's your thing, if you prefer the written type of content. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video today, guys. It has been a bit of a while, working on a lot of things on the channel in general, and hopefully we're going to have a really good year, 2025, with YouTube, and basically the channel in general, the website, and all that good stuff. So I hope you're doing well, guys. Take care. This is the first video of the year, which is kind of wild because it's the 23rd of January. I've not been slacking, I've been working hard behind the scenes, so there we go. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care. I've been LazyBeast, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.